Eason, and I'm in the bodybuilding.com kitchen today, and I'm excited because I'm going to show you how to make my honey almond protein crisp. I've showed you guys how to make chocolate protein bars, lemon protein bars, carrot cake. They're all kind of like cakey, so I wanted something with a little bit of crunch, and this is super simple and tastes really good. So let's get started. For this recipe, we're going to need 3 cups of crispy brown rice. We're going to need 1 cup of whole oats. We're going to also need a scoop of vanilla protein, whichever kind you like. We'll also need 1/4 of a cup of chopped almonds. You can either just use whole almonds and break them up yourself, or you can buy the chopped almonds at the store. And then for our wet ingredients, we're going to do almond butter. We're going to have honey, and this isn't actually wet, but it's going to go in the wet ingredients. That's our xylitol brown sugar blend. This recipe is super easy and it comes together really quickly. All you're gonna need is basically a large bowl so you can dump all the ingredients in, and we need a smaller bowl so that we can actually just microwave to heat it up just a little bit so that it's easier to actually mix into our dry ingredients. And once you do that, it's pretty much done, and we stick it in the freezer, no baking at all, and you can eat it in about 30 minutes. To begin with, we've added already 3 cups of the crispy brown rice. Now, you can hopefully find this at one of your local grocery stores. I've seen it at Whole Foods almost every time. The reason I like this, it's gluten-free. It's really got very few ingredients. It does have some natural sugar in it, but it's from evaporated cane juice and it's organic molasses. So it's only got 2 grams of sugar per serving, which is 3/4 a cup. And we've got 3 cups in here, so you're looking at less than 5 grams of sugar for the entire batch, and you're not supposed to eat the entire batch. So 3 cups go in the bowl, and then we've got 1 cup of whole oats. So we're gonna dump that on top. And then we're gonna add 1/4 of a scoop of crushed almonds. So you can actually do your own if you'd like and just use your trusty rolling pin and beat them down that way. Or you can buy them already chopped at the store, which is what we have. So I'm gonna add 1/4 of a cup. And I kind of sprinkle it around because we don't wanna actually mix it up too much until we have the rest of our ingredients ready. And the last ingredient for our dry ingredients is 1 scoop of protein. So I'm putting that in. And a lot of you guys always ask me, what kind of protein do I use? Whatever kind of protein you like. I just like something that's got a good vanilla flavor because that's usually a good base for everything. And I always look for the fewer ingredients, the better. But whichever one you like, some people like it with added aminos and all kinds of extra little things so that they can get added nutrition in one little easy scoop. So, all right, I'm just gonna give it a gentle shake. Don't mix it up yet because it'll all settle to the bottom. Set that aside. And now I'm gonna start with my wet ingredients. So we are gonna start with almond butter. Now when you buy this stuff at the store, make sure that you're getting the one that is just almonds and salt, or just almonds. Don't get anything that has like added oils. As you can see, there's a ton of oil already on top. I like to pour off just a little bit. Don't pour it all off though, because you'll have a really hard time mixing it up all the way to the bottom. So I'm gonna mix it up just a little bit. And once I get that going, we are gonna need 3/4 of a cup of this. So I like to use my 1/4 scoop. I feel like it's a little bit more manageable. So I'll just pour that in. And we'll do that 3 times. So I get that going. I have my little rubber spatula to get it out. I need 3. And now you can, one of the best parts of this recipe is that it's really whatever you want to put in it. So if you wanted to use, peanut butter or tahini, which is crushed sesame seeds, or any kind of nut butters that you like, really, you can use anything. And that goes for the nuts that you choose as well. You can choose whatever you want. So 1 more. And as you can see, this is a lot of healthy fats. You're forewarned at this point that this is not something you eat every single day, but it's a great snack. And we have actually an event tomorrow where we'll be running and burning a lot of calories. So this would be great for that because it's great for energy. All right, and it's being a little stubborn, but I think we got it all. Okay, so that goes in. So we've got our 3/4 of a cup. And then we're gonna need 2 cups of honey. So, and honey, of course, will still spike your blood sugar, but honey is so good for you. It's loaded with antioxidants. There's all sorts of benefits to it. So we're gonna add that in. Again, this isn't for everyday consumption, but it's gonna be an awesome treat. It tastes unbelievable, actually, for so few ingredients. So we'll get that in, and one more. There we go. And actually, honey's kind of fun too, because at the store you'll find like all different kinds of varieties. You might find one that's like lavender flavored, or I got one that was rose flavored once, not so much. I really felt like I was chewing on the lawn or something, not good. So, all right, we got that. And then to this, I'm gonna add a half a cup of xylitol brown sugar blend. You don't have to use this if you don't want to, because you're fine with that amount of honey. This will kind of kick up the intensity a bit and make it a little sweeter. I think it really adds a lot to it. And it does add some calories, but unlike sugar, which is like 3.7 or something like that for sugar, this is only 2 point something. So it's less, and actually it's approved for diabetics because it spikes your blood sugar less. So we're gonna throw that in there. But I do wanna show you this one other alternative. Some of you may or may not be familiar with succonaut. It's actually a brown sugar substitute as well. If you taste it, it's really granular, but it does have a little bit of a hint of a molasses flavor added to it without extra sugar or anything. So this is definitely an option for you. So once we put this in the bowl, I'm gonna put it in the microwave. And we're just gonna do 30-second intervals is all we need. And I'm gonna move this back over here because we're gonna need it to start mixing this together. All right. Sometimes it just takes one, sometimes it takes a little longer. I'm gonna actually go to the bigger spatula now. Actually, that heated it up pretty well. Mix it all together. And you're just heating it just enough just so that it'll spread easily inside here. I think that's actually pretty good. If you needed to, you could do another 30 seconds in the microwave. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour that in. You wanna kind of spread it out a little bit and get all of it out. It's gonna seem like there's really not enough to kind of go around at first, but you just have to kind of really work it in. So now I can start working it together. I like to kind of use this little fold over technique so that it doesn't stick to my spatula. All right, so then you kind of start chopping into it. Now you could actually add dried fruits if you wanted to, if this was for your kids. You know, I know a lot of us stay away from dried fruits, but you could do all kinds of nuts actually. Walnuts, you could do peanuts, whatever you'd like. All right, I think we're looking pretty good. I see a few dry spots, but I think I can fix that when I put it into the bowl. So I want to use a 9x13 Pyrex dish. You can use whichever dish you'd like. I just find that works well because I don't need to spray it or anything. There's enough healthy fats in here that you don't have to add any nonstick sprays or anything like that. All right, I'm gonna grab my dish and pour this in. All right, and you kind of get it started. I'll move that so you can see. You kind of get it started with your spatula. And then I like to finish it with my fingers. I think it's easier to really get it pushed down in there. So wet your fingers just a little bit so it doesn't stick, and just start really pushing it down. You could put a towel down underneath this, it wouldn't be so noisy. So I'm just really pushing it in good. And that's it. And just so you know, one of my favorite things actually is you can use the same technique and actually use cookie cutters, which is kind of fun, and make like little shapes and stuff for the kids. And now I'm just gonna put this in the freezer, and then about an hour we'll check on it. All right, it's been about an hour, so I'm gonna go ahead and get the honey almond protein crisp out of the freezer. All right, it is definitely cold. It's pretty hard. So you can either at this point cut it into squares, and sometimes I don't even like to go to all that trouble, so I just break pieces off. I recommend you store it actually in the freezer because it'll keep the texture nice and hard and it doesn't get too hard to bite into. But if you cut it into 18 squares, each one is about 154 calories, about 8 grams, all of good fat, 21 grams of carbs, and about 4 grams of protein. So I guarantee you will like this. It's really good stuff, and I hope you will come back next time whenever I'm making something new. For more content like this, check out bodybuilding.com.